The style of it and the tone of it seems to fit something that's quite grand.
Every character in the script, there is such a range that you just want to get in there and get your hands dirty.
It's a very kind of immersive world to play in.
It's very moving, there's real pathos in there.
I just like that there was a darkness running under normal life.
And something desperately desperate and heartbreaking about this interpretation.
And on the other hand, it's quite thrilling.
My name's John Malkovich and I play Hercule Poirot. Where Poirot is in his life, that he's nearing the end of his life, he's quite forgotten, and the world has kind of passed him by.
I think it's quite an inspired piece of casting. It's so delightful that he's felt inspired to do it.
And he's just got this presence that it does something quite special to a room. Crome is the Chief Inspector at Scotland Yard, newly appointed. And he is slightly insecure about his new position. He's a young man who kind of feels that he isn't experienced enough, and he kind of puts on this front, which is quite a fun part of Crome. And yeah, he hates Poirot.
Lady Hermione Clark is part of the landed gentry. She's very ill, and she's married to Carmichael. They have, to all intents and purposes, slightly adopted Thora, who arrives as an orphan, but then creates some deep problems and fissure in their marriage.
Franklin Clark is a very amiable, easy in his own skin, friendly guy who's the brother of Sir Carmichael Clark, and he approaches Poirot because he's a little bit miffed at how this young lad Crome is approaching the case.
I like that there's lots of characters. I like ensemble things, and I like that once you've had enough of that character, you're on to the next one, and then you're back to that one.
You're gripped by each character, by their idiosyncrasies immediately.
Mr. Cust is a young man that we meet at the train station arriving. It's very obvious from the beginning that he's got certain issues going on from him. He's in the process of picking himself up and trying to dust himself off while fighting the demons that are plaguing him, and wants to make his mark on the world.
Rose Marbury, she runs a boarding house in King's Cross. It's very run down and a bit sad, I think. I think there's a sadness running underneath her life. She's complex. I think she's got problems. How she's got to that point, I don't know, and that's the interesting thing, is investigating that as an actress, finding some sort of truth in the kind of the entertainment of the story as well. So that was interesting to me.
I've always loved Christie.
At the very heart of it, she understood how interesting human behaviour is.
It's just the whodunit thing, isn't it? It's like you want the answer, and will you get the answer? It just plays with your emotions.
Sarah Phelps is a writer that, when you read her scripts, it's immediately obvious that she's a writer that is very much into humanity and the human behaviour.
You're like, wow, she creates this universe just brilliantly.
I just like that there was a darkness running under the functioning of normal life.
This version of Poirot feels very fresh.
She holds the reverence for what Christie's done.
The kind of quite brutal realism that Sarah's brought to it is quite powerful.
To see Poirot written as he is, I don't think people will have seen him like this before.
Sarah's managed to sort of extrapolate something new.
It's such a visceral world, and the characters are so visceral themselves.
It was a real kind of breath of fresh air.
It's very exciting.